For tens of thousands of years, Native Americans have shaped the landscapes of North and South America. They've built civilizations, created traditions, and shown resilience in the face of immense challenges. Hello, and welcome back to Epoch Explorer. Today, we're diving into an incredible story, Native American history. In this video, we'll explore their origins, the rise of their diverse cultures, the impact of European colonization, and the legacies they continue to build today. Sit back, because this is a history you'll want to dive into. Let's start with the beginning. Around 13,000 to 20,000 years ago, during the last ice age, a group of humans migrated from Siberia to North America. They crossed a land bridge called Beringia, which connected Asia and Alaska. This land bridge was exposed due to lower sea levels caused by massive ice sheets. These early peoples were nomadic hunters, pursuing megafauna like mammoths, bison, and saber-toothed cats across the tundra-like landscape. Once they arrived in the Americas, these populations dispersed rapidly. Some followed coastal routes along the Pacific, while others moved inland through ice-free corridors, eventually spreading across the continents. Evidence from Clovis sites in North America, known for their distinctive spear points, suggests that these people were highly skilled hunters and tool makers. But recent discoveries challenge these timelines. Sites like Monte Verde in Chile, dating back 33,000 years, and footprints found in White Sands National Park in New Mexico, estimated to be over 21,000 years old, suggest humans may have arrived far earlier than previously thought. These findings imply that people might have used boats to travel along the coasts or migrated in waves long before Beringia was even accessible. This rewrites the narrative of human migration into the Americas, making it one of the greatest puzzles in archaeology. As the Ice Age ended about 11,000 years ago, dramatic changes in climate reshaped the Americas. Glaciers melted, sea levels rose, and new ecosystems emerged. The megafauna that once dominated the landscape began to disappear, likely due to overhunting and environmental changes. This forced these early populations to adapt. In North America, some groups turned to fishing and gathering along rivers, lakes, and coasts, while others began cultivating plants like squash and maize, laying the foundation for agriculture. In South America, early communities began domesticating animals like llamas and alpacas, while in Mesoamerica, they developed farming techniques that would later support civilizations like the Olmec and Maya. This adaptation to diverse environments was extraordinary. From the Arctic tundra to the Amazon rainforest, these early peoples developed specialized tools, knowledge, and cultural practices that allowed them to thrive in even the harshest conditions. They weren't just surviving, they were innovating, creating some of the most remarkable civilizations in human history. The story of these early migrations is a testament to human ingenuity and resilience. It's a reminder of how our ancestors explored, adapted, and thrived in a new world. As new evidence emerges, it continues to deepen our understanding of just how ancient and complex the history of Native Americans truly is. By the time of European contact, Native Americans had developed over 500 unique nations, each with its own language, traditions, and governance. The ancestral Puebloans in the Southwest, they constructed awe-inspiring cliff dwellings like those at Mesa Verde and Chaco Canyon. These structures were not only homes, but also centers of trade and spirituality, too. The Mississippian culture. Along the Mississippi River, cities like Cahokia thrived around 1000 CE. With a population of up to 20,000, Cahokia was a hub of trade, featuring massive earthen mounds used for ceremonies and burials. 3. The Iroquois Confederacy. In the Northeast, the Iroquois nations formed one of the earliest examples of democratic governance. Their great law of peace influenced the framing of the U.S. Constitution centuries later. 4. The Inuit and Yupik. In the Arctic, these communities mastered life in some of the harshest conditions on Earth. They built igloos, crafted tools from bones, and relied on fishing and hunting seals for survival. 5. The coastal tribes. In the Pacific Northwest, tribes like the Tlingit and Haida carved intricate totem poles and celebrated their connections to the land and sea through potlatch ceremonies. Every tribe was deeply connected to the environment, crafting unique ways of life that balanced survival, spirituality, and community. The arrival of Europeans in the late 15th century dramatically altered Native American life. At first, there were exchanges of goods and ideas. The fur trade in the Northeast and the Southwest's introduction to horses reshaped daily life, but soon, the relationship turned tragic. The introduction of diseases like smallpox, measles, and influenza devastated native populations. With no immunity, entire villages were wiped out. Beyond disease, colonization led to violent conflicts and widespread displacement. Spanish missions in the Southwest sought to convert native peoples to Christianity, often by force. Meanwhile, in New England, wars like King Philip's War in the 1670s decimated tribes like the Wampanoag. The European demand for land seemed endless, leading to centuries of treaties, many of which were ignored or broken. Native Americans were not passive victims. They resisted colonization in countless ways. Tecumseh, a Shawnee leader, worked to unite tribes across the Midwest to resist U.S. expansion. Sitting Bull and the Lakota Sioux famously defeated Custer's forces at the Battle of Little Bighorn in 1876. The Seminole people of Florida resisted removal through decades of guerrilla warfare, refusing to abandon their land. Despite resistance, U.S. policies like the Indian Removal Act of 1830 resulted in mass displacement. The Trail of Tears saw the Cherokee and other tribes forcibly relocated to present-day Oklahoma, leading to immense suffering and loss of life. Yet, even in the face of these tragedies, Native Americans found ways to preserve their cultures. By the late 19th century, U.S. policies shifted to assimilation. Native children were sent to boarding schools where they were forbidden to speak their languages or practice their traditions. The phrase, "kill the Indian, save the man," symbolized this brutal approach. But Native communities survived. Over the 20th century, movements like the American Indian Movement, AIM, fought for civil rights, sovereignty, and cultural revival.